Happy Friday. It's good to be here with you. It's a beautiful sunny day, and I'm here in my office getting caught up after being gone for about a week and a half. I'm listening to the latest release from one of my favorite bands called the Besnard Lakes. They're a band from Canada. I've seen them live a few times and love every album of theirs, and I'm so excited to have a new album today to start to embrace and enjoy. This past Wednesday, the 27th, I woke up in Cape San Blas, Florida. I had been there for a little over a week, staying in a house on the beach. I had driven down there in one day. I'd stopped only as little as I needed to, but didn't overnight anywhere. So it was a nice long 16-hour drive. On Wednesday, I began the drive home, and I did the very same thing. Instead of stopping in these days of COVID, I just tried to stay in the car and get out as little as I needed to. I really do love a road trip, and I enjoy the challenge, honestly, of trying to drive as much as I can in one day. As you can imagine, and you might know from experience, such a road trip is full of exhilarating moments and boring moments and frustrating moments. Moments when you question the journey, moments when you're so privileged and grateful to be there, and there are always surprises. Weather might change, or there might be more traffic than you expected. You might make quicker time than you thought. You see things along the way. A journey like that is really an adventure, and it requires a sense of commitment and endurance. Paul talks in the first reading this morning about the necessity of endurance, of being able to persevere, to stay strong in who we are and the journey we walk. Not to get deterred by the challenges of it, or to give up because it's grown dull or taken a turn in a direction we didn't expect, but to be willing to endure it and to trust that God knows what God is doing with us. In the gospel, Jesus uses a great metaphor that I think dovetails nicely with what Paul is saying. Jesus talks about the kingdom of God being like that mustard seed, a small seed, but it grows into a large plant. And it's funny how that happens. We don't know how those things happen, he says in the gospel. So I think this journey really calls us to endure the mystery that's a part of our lives. Most of us know less than we'd like to admit. There's so much we don't know. There's a lot more we don't know than we do know. So we're always giving into that mystery, and sometimes it's very unsettling. Sometimes that's the real challenge of our lives, that we'd like things to be resolved sooner. But it's part of a journey. Part of a long drive. It's part of a road trip that you have to trust where you're going, even though you haven't arrived there yet. I think that's a great metaphor for every day of our lives. There's so much we don't know that we have to endure, that sense of mystery, and try to embrace that there's beauty in that, and that in our wrestling with the mystery, we come to know more of who God is and what God desires for us, by allowing that mystery just to unfold in its time, instead of forcing it or getting frustrated or giving up. Just to let that mystery be that mystery, and to let it reveal itself to us as the journey unfolds. It calls us to have a good sense of endurance, to keep practicing that endurance, and to know that in our wrestling with it, there's something holy about it.